Taylor here at Glen Helen riding the 2012 YZ450. They didn't make a bunch of changes for 2012, but the changes they made absolutely made a big difference. Start off with the forks. Last year the bike had a real bad tendency of diving. You'd accelerate, you know, like down the downhill here at Glen Helen. When you got towards the bottom into the braking bumps, the front end would just blow through the stroke. You'd be so deep, the thing would get head shake, start swapping you. It was really hard to make the rut at the end of the straightaway. They beefed up the valving. The spring rate's the same, but the valving is definitely, mid-stroke is stiffer, a little bit more progressive. It doesn't dive so deep into the stroke. It's just much more controllable coming into the ruts, coming into the deep braking bumps. Huge improvement over last year for sure. Same with the shock. Just kind of beefed up the valving a little bit. Just made it so it's a little bit more progressive like the front. Doesn't get into the stroke, doesn't get so deep, kind of stays up a little bit coming out of the corners so you can get a little bit better traction. Again, definite improvement. For me, we ended up going two clicks stiffer on compression with the forks and one in on rebound. Just kind of made it a little stiffer, a little calmer. Same with the rear. We actually went in a click, a rebound on the rear just to kind of calm it down a little bit. Glen Helen, you know, it gets some big old acceleration bumps, some big braking bumps, you know, into ruts. So you need your suspension to be a little bit more calm. It's not choppy at all out here today. That actually helped a lot. Motor-wise, what they did is they actually had to put a bigger silencer on it, which generally usually will sap a little bit of power. It's not super noticeable. It's definitely quieter. You know, the sound standards nowadays make everybody, you know, put these big meaty mufflers on there to keep the sound down. The thing still runs really well. Another thing Yamaha did for 2012 was change the mapping, the ignition mapping. They had a lot of people last year that thought the bike was just too gnarly. You'd come out of a corner and when it hit the power band it would just rip your arms out. They changed the mapping, made it a little bit more smooth, a little bit more linear feel, and it absolutely worked. Especially on the drier parts of Glen Helen today where it's not so deep, you can really control the motor a lot better. Bottom end power feels like is maybe a little bit down, but then that hit isn't so big, so it just kind of carries and pulls throughout the power band. Allows it to rev out, allows it to be a real easy bike to control and to ride. It doesn't tire you out like it did last year at all. That's about it on as far as changes go. You know, on the track the thing feels you know, better than it did last year for sure. You can definitely hook in some good laps, and it's a lot, you know, it's pretty fun to ride.